De-influencing. A fellow content creator influencer friend of mine asked me what I thought of the whole trend, and I looked at her and I was like, where do we start? It's a mess. Don't get me wrong, I love the core sentiment, but the execution has been very poor, to the point where it just feels disingenuous and bandwagony. If you've been on TikTok since the start of this year, especially like the beauty makeup side of TikTok, then you have seen the Tarte trip to Dubai discourse, Mascaragate. You have heard people's cries for problematic YouTubers to return to the scene to set things right in the influencer space. And while I would love for this video to be a well-researched, planned video essay, I tend to operate more on vibes and personal experience. So that's where I'm coming from on this one. What I think of the de-influencing trend as a full-time content creator / influencer. And yes, I'm obviously recognizing the bias I have here. I saw a lot of the early de-influencing videos before it seemed to take TikTok by storm. And these early videos felt like a response to overconsumption. It was people opening drawers and showing the 50 red lipsticks they had and confessing that they honestly didn't need all of them, shouldn't have bought all of them, and saying to you, the watcher, that you don't need 100 red lipsticks either. I really liked that these videos put the responsibility on us as individuals to not get caught up in the hype of different products and to really just be mindful of what we were consuming. I myself will fully admit that I got suckered in by the eyeshadow palette craze of the mid-2000s, and that I have far too many brown lipsticks and lip glosses. And I liked that there were these de-influencing videos out there just making me think twice before purchasing. And overall, I think this is a fantastic conversation that supports sustainability, reducing waste, spending wisely in a recession, all very good messaging. But this quickly turned into a hate brigade on influencers, and then quickly turned into something else, which we'll cover in a minute. Influencers are already not the most liked people on the internet. I think the disdain that people have for influencers is a whole nother conversation in need of exploring, but for the sake of this conversation, I get it. There are a lot of anti-capitalism sentiments out there, and Instagram influencers, social media influencers, jobs are to promote products, which make these businesses money. While I do think we are easy target scapegoats in this space, we really are just another cog in the big business marketing wheel. But there is a stereotype about influencers for a reason. A lot of people feed into this overconsumption with this lipstick just happened to be here, with every lipstick being so amazing, you have to buy this, run out and go get it now. There's a lot of that over dramatization and that push to get people to consume absolutely everything without second thoughts. There's a lot of overhype of things that feels really unnecessary and disingenuous, which I find will either lead to people buying more things if they are fans of those creators or sucked in by the marketing, or lead to more hate towards influencers for the people who can kind of see right through that hype. And again, just a lot of people looking to like the few who might not be approaching it ethically and painting everybody with the same brush. So at this point in the de-influencing trend timeline, I feel like the conversation shifted from putting responsibility on us, consumers, the watchers, to make educated choices and not buy into hype, to very quickly shifting to the influencers and just removing all responsibility from the people purchasing these things, which I just think is so funny. And this then turned into de-influencing being, here's 5 products that are not worth the hype and that you don't need. Really calling out a lot of these beauty products that have been especially hyped in the media. And honestly, in my personal opinion, I felt like the dramatics in some of these videos were just as bad as the videos hyping up the product. For example, if like there was a foundation that influencers have been all saying, you have to have this, is the best thing, it changed my life. You are now getting like counter videos under the de-influencing hashtag being like, this product sucks, you don't need it, it's a lie, it doesn't work, da 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 da. And just like no nuance or recognition of the fact that different products work differently for different people. Like, this product is either gonna change your life or it sucks so bad and is not worth your money and it should go in the trash. Like I just wasn't seeing any in between there. And this is where the irony comes in that I really struggle with. Influencing is not just about influencing people to buy products. It's influencing people to do something, to make a choice, a decision. And saying, don't buy this product is still influencing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's not call it de-influencing if you're influencing. And then this is where the trend just completely lost me, was when my fellow influencers, big and small, hopped in and started making de-influencing videos saying, don't buy this hyped product, buy this one instead. We lost the plot, guys. The plot is gone. Like, you guys are with me, right? And there's also just this influx of influencers making de-influencing videos about products that they didn't like. I've been a blogger / content creator for 7 years. And I specifically started with my blog doing natural hair product reviews. And I was always so careful to give like an honest, unbiased take on these products. Keeping in mind too that what works for me might not work for everyone. Especially on my blog where I have more written space, I always try to disclose that my hair is thick, it's high porosity, or at least like it was. I feel like it's changing. And just really try to give as much information about my hair or my skin to provide context for how the product works for me. And if something didn't work for me, I'd be honest about it and try to give a recommendation for who this product might be ideal for. Because if these products are being made and sold, like they're probably gonna work for somebody. I feel like our job as creators, especially those who do reviews, is to not over sensationalize everything. Tell people what we think of it, but I don't think we should be ever pushing something as a product that will work for everyone and something that people absolutely have to go run out and buy. And likewise, I don't think we should really be ever saying that something is horrible. We could say like it worked horribly on us, but maybe that's because I used a super liquidy, oily foundation on my oily skin. Like maybe it would work for somebody with dry skin. Like let's add some nuance back into our takes, please. I do think there is just an overall problem on social media in general, but especially over on TikTok, because there are so many honest, good creators out there. But the reality is those don't always blow up. It's those who sensationalize, who gasp at everything and because I mean, psychologically, when we're scrolling, like that captures our attention. You pause when you see that like human excitement or expression on somebody's face. And when we pause to engage with that, it signals to these algorithms that it's content worth stopping for, and it shows it to more people, and then the cycle just continues. And I also think that TikTok has just broken down a lot of our critical thinking. There's not a lot of room for nuanced discussions. I feel like just as quickly as people are scrolling, they are quick to act, comment, cancel. So what do I think is like a good ethical way to move forward? Because I don't think us influencers are going anywhere. And I do think we should be looking at not consuming too much. So to my fellow creators, I think we need to work more on like honesty and realistic reactions to things. Like, don't get me wrong, I have gasped at a lot of things. I get really excited about makeup. I love trying new products, but I think we just have to catch ourselves in how we share that excitement. I think just not positioning everything as something that everybody needs. And I think that taking like an educational approach is always helpful to that, explaining why you like the products, who they're intended for, who they might and might not work for, as well as I think just sharing context, like I said earlier, for our own hair and skin types, our use cases for the products. And I think that will just help the audience make more educated decisions on whether or not something works for them. Then for the consumer audience side, I would say we need to stop putting people on pedestals. Stop believing everybody's hype. Bring back some critical thinking. And we need to remember that we are responsible for our own consumption. You don't need to buy something just because your favorite creator has it too. I know that using the same products and having the same things as somebody that you look up to can make you feel closer to them, but buying the skincare serum that your fave uses just because they use it is not going to do you any favors. So this was new for this channel. Let me know what you think. I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a while. Let me know what else you'd like to see from me, and until next time.